All right, Beverly Osler is in here this morning, the concierge of the airwaves.
Coffee's ready. Jennifer, I know this is very difficult for you to share your story, but you will be helping some people. There's something that a lot of us don't know about adoptions and the effect it has on families and the rippling effect. So I admire what you're doing.
Okay, now, I want you, Jennifer, if you will tell this succinctly. Not, the thing about radio, is this the first radio you've ever done?
It is, actually. It is.
You sound great.
And it's the first time I've actually spoke out about it.
So. Okay, really? Wow, that's a double whammy. Wow.
Well, yeah. Well, we've been in the court system for 4 years right now, so
okay.
I'm just finally done with that.
Now what I want you to do is, the nice thing about radio is you're not talking to 10,000 people. You're just talking to one at a time, and that's why I don't like crowds generally. I get nervous. My mouth gets dry. If 10 people were in this room right now, my mouth would be dry and I'd be nervous. I'm much more comfortable one-on-one. Okay, so I'm trying to allay your fears. But what I'd like you to do is pretend it's just, you and I and Beverly, and explain to us, in a short version, 1 through 10, A, B, C, D, exactly what's happened, but don't go into super detail, but just an overview of this whole thing.
Sure. Well, back to the Beverly's question with the grief of my daughter. In a short, what took place was the kids were going to keep the baby. Someone contacted them without my knowledge, ended up entering into an open adoption. The child was born. The adoption happened. The family closed the adoption after 3 weeks of taking the child home. So with Beverly asking the trauma of that, separation of a child and a mother is trauma, period. I had no idea. I should have, because I'm a mother, but I don't even know. You just don't think straight. I'm sure you've heard that a lot. But then on top of that trauma was the fact that my daughter had, and our families, because it was supposed to be an extended family situation, that trauma was built upon with the fact that we will never see her again because they closed the adoption. And
now, how do they close it? What do you mean they closed it?
Well, open adoption is not a legally binding contract. So this family took the child and then started doing things that were on the agreement that we all sat down and created. They started taking those things away. The first thing they did was delete all of us off of Facebook at 3 weeks after they took the child. So we began to try to hold them accountable to things. We talked to attorneys, whatever, and that's what happened. It started from there, and then it just got worse from there on. So, yes, Beverly, the trauma of that is probably the most identifying thing I want to share.
Sure, and people don't realize this about, and they never tell you this about abortion, that there's the boomerang effect, that women they live in horrors for the rest of their life often. Also, James, of course, my nephew, his mother, Linda, who was my friend back in the 60s and had a child with my brother Scott, who's no longer alive. I never knew about it and was put up for adoption. And all these years, apparently, I ran into Linda in upstate New York in Rhinebeck. I used to live in Poughkeepsie years ago. Now I live in Florida. But I ran into her a number of years ago, maybe 15 years ago. But she was very terse. Is that the right word? She was very nice, but it was a perfunctory. And she drove off, and I wondered, gosh, I guess things change in time because, I always really liked Linda. I remember when my brother broke up with her, and he did the breaking up. He broke her heart, and I was very disappointed because Linda, if you see pictures of her, she's a beautiful girl, very intelligent. She's an artist today, and I mean an artist. And I don't mean a flaky artist. I mean she's got her feet firmly on the ground. She has multiple children. I think her one daughter's a lawyer now. I mean, she does these paintings that are like intricate workings of like the ocean or leaves or whatever stuff. I mean, it's just really good stuff. She's high end. For my brother to give her up was like lunacy. I thought it was stupid then. But she said she lived with a hole in her heart until James found her. And every time they meet now, they have a quiet time together, and they cry.
Yeah.
Every time. And
There's
she's being healed
no making
too.
up for that time.
Oh, look at me. I don't have any children. So all of a sudden I've got a niece who calls us 10 years ago and says she's my brother's daughter. She has a son, Elijah and Jonah, the exact same ages as Luke and Jimmy. So James's son. Anyway, so I've got and then I've got Liz, and I've also got Joel, the respective spouses of my niece and nephew. And all of a sudden I've got this huge family, and I was on the phone last night with James saying, when I was, let's see, if he's 47, so I was like, what he's like, I don't know how much older I am than him, but all those years stole from us of him being my young nephew and me being, and that we're trying to make up for time. And we talk on the phone, and I said to him, I don't care, we don't talk about anything. It's time. We're just slowly. We could talk about how you chew on an apple. I don't give a damn. We're getting to know each other. So they're probably wondering why I call him every day. Well, he calls me every other day, but I call him every day. And the same thing with Cece. I love Cece. And the family, they've embraced us over 10 years. But you can't. It's really a regret because you can never get back those years. My brother will never meet his grandsons nor know that he had a grandson. Not one.
Jennifer, Rhett has gained a family. You've lost a family.
Well, she still has her daughter, though, and she still has...
I know, but the baby...
Yeah, if I could talk about my daughter...
Please.
Here's my point to everybody. I have a daughter, but she's not the daughter that she was supposed to be, and she is not the daughter that I had. That's the problem with adoption. I think that there's a lot more people who understand the trauma of abortion because the pro-life movement is very vocal about it. The problem with adoption is this is not out here. You have to experience it to understand.
Well,
so we're hoping people can understand and listen because my daughter has gone through. I went, they were going to go to college, right? Well, she never made it through college. In fact, she came back so sick with fibromyalgia, a 20-year-old fibromyalgia.
Stress.
This kind of grief produces emotional and physical ailments that it's devastating for a 20-year-old. So didn't make it through college. She's doing fine now because she's found her place there in her business, but she still will carry this trauma. She's been diagnosed with post-traumatic stress disorder. OCD. There are things. This is not my daughter.
Did her and
the daughter I had?
Did her and the father of the child end up staying together, or no?
They are in close contact, and they continue to try to work the relationship out. This is a very damaging issue as well.
It is with married couples. When stuff like this happens with married couples, 90% of the time it destroys the marriage.
It does. They love each other, but this is such a trauma to them that trying to get themselves back together in a normal way is nearly impossible. So this is the damage that, as a mother myself, has watched. And it has the ripple effect, Beverly. The ripple effect is my daughter is not the same.
Now, what is
she will never be the same. My children, my other two daughters, totally robbed of the joy of their lives as well, watching their own sister go through this.
Now, wait a second. Now, I want to know about this closed thing. Did they know all along that it was going to be a closed adoption, or then all of a sudden the people that adopted her child decided it was going to be closed, and they had a power she didn't know? In my heart of hearts, we have gone back and played that out, and there were so many red flags that we should have picked up on. So in my heart, I can't 100% say, but it was very clear to me that they knew a lot of the power they held, and that they knew they were going to change things. I didn't know to what extent, but I do believe that this was part of their power, and they knew it from statements and things that they had said. So, but I can't be 100% certain. I would have loved to have made it through a trial and had all this come out, but it didn't. But the ripple effects of this is huge. Why can't you fight this?
Well, we did. We tried to fight it. We went to district court, and the court dismissed the case without even any disclosure. Our attorney was stunned by that. We then took it to the appellate court. We won on the grounds that the attorney was negligent of possible malpractice, which the damages was, which caused the child not to come back to us. Unfortunately, that's just a civil case. It's not a criminal case. The child never comes back. It's just a slap on the wrist for the attorney. And the courts will never, they hold these, this is a system that takes years and years. And then when you finally get there, the judges will look at you and say, in the best interest of a child, the child should never go back to the original family after all these years, 3, 4, 5, whatever. They never consider that the biological family is still best at any age.
Yeah, I don't know. I have duplistic feelings there only because after 4 or 5, can you imagine being ripped away from these humans that love you on a technicality that these other people that were the natural parents? I don't know. I have duplistic feelings. I'm conflicted about that.
I'm conflicted about it too, because when you look at I'm not comparing this to a kid. I'm not saying they kidnapped a child. I'm saying that when someone kidnaps a child, they never look at that situation and say, you have been in this home for 5 years and you know nothing different. You'll be traumatized going back to your biological family.
Yeah.
In a sense, I can say that we were tricked and coerced in order to
how were
have
they
a
tricked?
family.
How were they tricked? Because I would know if they signed papers, they must have known what they were doing. The bad thing is they were only 18. But the other thing is, in other parts of the world, you're mature enough to get married when you're 14. So I don't know. I don't know how. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Well, I think the coercion of open adoption. I think that is a big deal right now.
The coercion. Now, what do you mean? But explain this to me.
Well,
somebody listening. See, we all don't know this. Those of us who have, this is all new to me.
You asked me if we felt like the adoptive family did this and knew they were going to do it.
Yeah.
I believe 100% there are people who do that. I believe there's also adoptive parents who.
What do they do? I don't understand what they do. How were they able to?
Okay, so they understand that once the papers are signed, once the revocation period is passed, you can close an adoption. There's no reason. It's all on your honor as far as keeping your word with keeping the adoption open and contact. They do know that they have the power to say, we're not going to let you see your child. We've changed our mind. So that does take place. I've seen it. I think we've experienced it. And when a crisis pregnancy happens, well, it shouldn't be crisis, but when it happens, open adoption, most mothers do not want to give up their babies. I know somebody, people will say there are those mothers, but most of them don't. So they look at their options and say, wow, open adoption sounds like, a good compromise. I can still go to college. I can still have my child around. I can still contact them. I can still do this. And that they rely on that. That's the only reason why they're entering into an open adoption or an adoption period.
But are they coerced into giving up the baby, or is this something they finally make as their own decision?
Well, a couple things happen. What you have nowadays is you have agencies and attorneys in adoption pre-matching. You pre-match with families. Well, those families contact you, and in my daughter's situation, there was a lot of contact, a lot of beautiful language, a lot of care, a lot of love, a lot of promises. And for a young girl who's expecting a baby, that type of connection is really a very, it enables my daughter to disconnect, love on the family, believe they love her, and believe that they will keep the adoption open and we'll all be this open, extended family. There's a lot of feelings that go on there, and commitment to that. And then you have the adoptive parents showing up at the hospital and being with you for a few weeks prior to that with ultrasound appointments, and it's just not It's just not a good thing to do. There's no room for a mother and a child to bond and be able to work through and process their own feelings with a whole other family they have just connected to and made promises, a commitment to. And that is a very coercive way in itself, I believe.
Now,
I don't think it should ever happen.
Your daughter has really suffered. What about the father of the child? Has he been involved, and is he involved emotionally?
Hello?
Can you hear her? Hello? Hello?
Hello?
Hello, are you there?
I think we were disconnected for a minute. Okay.
Are you there? She can't hear us. Mm-hmm. Okay, we have a problem. There's obviously a problem. What's happened? Hello?
Well,
All right, let's take a little break and then we'll come back, okay? Let's take a little break, play some advertisements, and we'll try to get this reconnected.
What do New Beauty Magazine, Castle Connolly, and OatMD have in common? They have all consistently named board-certified plastic surgeon Dr. Alan Durkin as one of the best doctors in America. This private beachside medical office and chic med spa cannot be equaled. Ocean Drive Plastic Surgery offers surgical and non-surgical facial rejuvenation, body contouring, cosmetic breast surgery, laser skin resurfacing, hydrotherapy, massages, a steam room, and private overnight suites. There's no place more perfect than Ocean Drive Plastic Surgery. Visit oceandriveplasticsurgery.com to schedule your consultation today.
Want to know a secret restaurant? It's the C.J. Cannon's, the warm and friendly restaurant at the Vero Beach Regional Airport, where the only thing they overlook is the runway. You are their prime concern at this great restaurant, serving you from morning to night. That's right, Eggs Benedict par excellence in the morning to prime rib at night, with hamburgers, patty melts, and a host of the usual luncheon offerings served in a not-so-usual way. C.J. Cannon's, that's the place. There, overlooking the runway, is the friendly home-style restaurant with food and service that will make you come back asking for more. C.J. Cannon's, call them, 772-567-7727. That's 567-7727, or better yet, go there. You'll be pleased.
Today's broadcast is sponsored in part by Touch of Class Dry Cleaners. Touch of Class Dry Cleaners. Their newest location is your front door. Free pickup and delivery. And isn't that wonderful? Touch of Class Dry Cleaners. If you want to look like you have a touch of class, try Touch of Class Dry Cleaners. It is the official dry cleaners of the Mayor of the Airways.
Hi, I'm Elisa with Molinary Pools. As part of the administrative team, I get to serve the greatest and smartest customers in the world, Molinary Pools clients. Our team of pool professionals are ready to get your pool looking great. No matter your pool need, Molinary Pools serves you with cleaning, repairs, saltwater systems, automation, heat pumps, or even gas heater service. We are licensed and insured to do it all so you can enjoy your pool. For prompt, professional, and courteous service that solves your pool problems, give us a call at 772-778-2633.
You know, there are seasons for everything. You also know when you reach a certain age, it's the season to make your health care choices. Now is that season. December 7th is the last day to make changes to your Medicare coverage. To help you make choices, there is Better Solutions Insurance Services. That's right, Better Solution Insurance Services. Their local office is holding seminars that provide information you need. Information to make the best choices available for your health insurance coverage. When you attend, you get Medicare questions answered. Learn about the Blue Medicare plan. Get a booklet explaining everything just for attending. There is nothing more important than your health. Come listen and learn. Call Chrissy, the local agent, for more information. You can call her at 772-257-8600. That's right, 257-8600. Or visit the website, www.abettersolutioninsurance.com. For time and locations, stay tuned.
All right, and those times and locations today, okay, 4 p.m., at Brooksdale Senior Living Center, free to the public. Okay? 4 p.m. today. That's as you head out west on 60, you're passing St. Helens Church on the right, and then on the left you'll see Brooksdale. It's at 4 o'clock today, free to the public. I went the other day, really enjoyed it. I'm going to be going to another one because it's, well, you know me, I'm a knucklehead. It takes me a few times to get all the stuff in my head. There's also one at Sebastian today. It's a little earlier. It's at 2 o'clock. And that's a Better Solution Insurance. So they're up there on US 1. Listen, all you got to remember is that their office is right next to Dollar Tree. Okay. Now, coming up October 20th at 10 a.m., we'll be in Sebastian. Okay. At that office that's right next to
Dollar Tree.
You got it. All right. Now we continue our conversation. We were interrupted. Jennifer, are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
Oh, I'm sorry you couldn't
about
hear.
that.
Now,
I don't know what's going on.
I know you two were talking at the time. Where do you remember where we were?
Yes, I asked a question.
What was the question?
Well, I told her that I knew her daughter was suffering, but you also have been suffering, Jennifer. Now, what about the father of the child? Has he been affected emotionally? Has he been involved?
Oh gosh. You know, I thought about that this morning, whether I should go there. The answer to your question is yes. Yes.
Okay.
And I could go into detail, but I think that that would be a story for them to share. I didn't even ask permission to go there, but yes, very deeply, even almost more so. The fathers of this situation, in this situation, also go through such trauma. So I'll leave it there because I don't feel it's my place to go into detail. But yes,
I
very much so.
respect that, and I think that that's an invasion of privacy. But it's good to know that he also had to bear the burden of this. Mm-hmm. Okay.
Oh yes, very much so, and his family, not just him, but his family as well. When we talk about the trickle down effect of it, they have also had that in their family.
Well, listen, we are about out of time for today. So what I want to do is I want to thank Jennifer. You don't have a book out or anything. You're just doing this as a mom and a grandmother, but you know.
I am. I'm just starting this process because we've been in the legal system, but I do believe that a book could be possible. I believe that there's a lot of things.
Warning about adoptions.
Yes, I would like to share, you know, what people should know and what I would like to share.
If people want to get in touch with you, do you have either a Facebook page or do you have an email address? Okay, give us both if you would.
I have a Facebook page, and it's Jennifer Fredericksen. Okay. And I have an email that is jenfred, JENFRED, @netins.net.
All right. Do you have that written down too?
I got the NET, but what comes after that?
NETINS.net.
All right.
Okay.
Well, listen, Jennifer, I want to thank you very much for coming on our broadcast, and God bless you for being willing to come forward, and let's continue this conversation in the future, all right?
Yeah, thank you for having me.
Sure. And thank you for being. I know that they're at the hospital, and so my nephew couldn't come on. Hopefully Luke will be okay with his appendicitis, but I appreciate you being a trooper and continuing on with us, okay?
Thank you, Jennifer.
Thank you.